Hi, welcome to our show. Thanks for joining us again. Tonight we're going to be talking about something that I think many of you at home are struggling with, or have struggled with, or might finally come to struggle with, and that is something called starting over. And starting over what? Starting over a career that at one time occupied the bulk of your life, your interest, your enthusiasm, and then came to a close for one reason or another, families, other kinds of jobs, other interests. And then you get to a point in your life where you come to think, perhaps this is the time when I might start it over again. Is it too late? Can I do it again? Is it possible to start over? Many of you at home, I'm sure, are in this position, and to this evening's show, we're going to be covering starting over. The starting over of a career that once was and once again is. The starting over of yesterdays.
Yesterday. I learned a lot yesterday. Oh, yesterday. Yesterday, the moon was blue. And every crazy day brought something new to do. I used my magic age as if it were a wand. I never saw the west, an emptiness beyond. The game of love I played with arrogance and pride, and every flame I lit too quickly could let die. The friend I've met all seem somehow to fade away, and only I am left on stage to end the play. Yesterday when I was young, so many drinking songs were waiting to be sung. So many way of pleasure lay in store for me, and so much pain my dazzled eyes refused to see. I ran so fast that time, and youth finally ran out. I never take the time to learn what life about, and every conversation I can now recall concern itself with me, and nothing else at all. Hier encore, j'avais 20 ans, et j'ai gâché mon temps à faire des folies qui ne me laissent plus rien de vraiment précis que quelques rues de fond et la peur de l'ennui. Car mes amours sont morts avant d'exister, mes amis sont partis et ne reviendront pas. Par ma faute j'ai fait le fil autour de moi, et j'ai gâché ma vie et mes jeunes années. Le meilleur et le pire, oubliant le meilleur, j'ai figé mes sourires et j'ai glacé mes pleurs. Où sont-ils à présent? À présent, mes 20
Suzanne?
Yes.
What does it feel like to see yourself back on TV after so many years?
It's exciting. It's scary, but exciting.
I want to welcome to our show tonight Suzanne Bernard. Suzanne Bernard performed throughout Europe, throughout the world, stage, screen, cinema, theater, live, TV, Europe, South America, all over, and now you have been and are currently a resident of where?
Tenafly.
Tenafly, New Jersey.
Yes, I've been living there for about, I would say 14 years.
14 years in Tenafly, New Jersey.
Tenafly.
And how long has it been that you last performed?
About 17 years.
17 years ago.
Right.
And have you performed at all since then?
Well, I started again last year. It was my first job after 17 years at the Inner Circle in New York. And
so you're starting over.
Right.
You're starting over after 17 years, took place just last year.
Right. took me about 3 years. I thought of it, but I was nervous about it, and it took me about that time to get off the ground. One day I decided that was it. I had what's the word? Procrastinated?
Procrastinated.
That's it. You said better than I do.
Well, that's because I speak French and you speak English. Tell me, it's obvious to those of the viewers at home, and obviously to myself, that you're from France.
I'm from Paris, born in Paris. My family come from Brittany.
And you've been in the United States for how long?
Since I got married, really, definitively. I first came in 51, but I was back and forth. And then I got married 20 years ago, and I was stuck here. So
you were stuck here as a consequence of your marriage. Huh?
I couldn't move anymore.
I see.
It wouldn't be fair.
Now, by the way, since you're here so long, how does your accent keep such a definitive French quality to it?
I really don't know. I guess I'm not trying to lose it.
Oh, you're not practicing to keep it, are you?
No, no, I don't. But maybe my ear is not very good.
Oh, your ears look actually quite lovely, isn't that?
Thank you, thank you.
Now, we've got an audience full of people out there who could not imagine starting over in any field, let alone starting over after 15, 16 years in the theater. At this point, do you feel a kind of sense of realness or anxiousness about it, even though you actually have started once again?
Well, I'm starting to feel better now. But when I first started, like I say, it took me about 3 years to really get off the ground. And when I made that call, I called an agent because I thought that if I get myself somebody else involved, then I had to do it. So I was like pushing myself, committing myself.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. For persons who are starting, what do you mean by getting someone else involved? What difference does that make?
Well, just by myself, I wanted to do it, but I was scared to do it. I wasn't sure I could perform again. And so I tried to contact some people I knew. That was a big mistake because they all disappeared. Most of them were finished, dead, or retired.
I see.
So that was a big blow because it really makes me scared. I had to make new contacts.
That persons who were there weren't there any longer.
Like people who used to know me and used to book me without, I didn't have to make audition, they knew my reputation. So they used to call me. I didn't call them. And then suddenly I found myself when I wanted to go back to work, but most of them were not there anymore.
In the light of that, someone might say to you, you finished a career, it was solid, it was full-blown, you enjoyed it, right?
Right, I did.
You entered into another career, a marriage,
right,
rearing children.
Right.
Then they'd say to you, why bother, Suzanne? Why the devil even bother to start over? What would your answer be to that?
Well, like you said, first I had a career in show business. Then when I got married, I completely quit. From one day to the other, I quit because to me that was a second career and deserved my full time. Now my children are grown. They do what they want to do. I'm not really, I'm involved in their life, but from my point of view, not their point of view. They have their own friends. My husband is working. And suddenly I found myself, I didn't have that much to do at home. And I found myself with a lot of time and started to feel sorry for myself, where I've been, what I've been doing. Nothing was me anymore, because even when you're married, you're involved with one man and the children. You're not an individual, really. You're like part of the group. And suddenly the group is falling apart because everybody's doing what they, So I decided I have to do something because I don't want to sit at home watching the television all day. I want to do something which I really enjoy doing.
Well,
I used to anyway.
Did you find after that period of time when you're thinking about your life that you were feelings of lack of self-doubt?
Oh,
of
yes.
Of self-worth? Is that the kind of thing that was
yes,
motivating?
I thought I was finished in a sense that what am I living for? I'm looking at my face, I'm getting older, nothing's happening, And also when you're at home, especially with my business, when I used to travel all around, and that's one thing I really like about show business, was I could go everywhere, and everything was paid. And I really miss the traveling, to see other places and meeting people.
And I found myself between four walls. I was not meeting anybody except for the people at the school or the parents of the other children. And I found myself, I was not growing anymore. I was just like in a standstill. And to me, that was very depressing.
Just about your children at this point. How old are your children?
16 and 17.
And what were their feelings about having a mother around the house for so many years and constantly there, 3 o'clock would come, you'd be there Saturdays and Sundays. In the evening time, I guess you'd be around the house unless you had a hobby or activity
Right.
that
No,
took
I was
you out
around
of
the house.
So you're pretty solid.
Yes,
Pretty solid around the house.
right.
You're pretty solid besides that.
Oh, I hope so.
So what was your children's response to their mother starting over a career in the theater?
Well, my son didn't mind so much. My daughter did. Tanya didn't. She mentioned a few times that you're not going to be home. Why do you do it? Why do you want to go and sing again? And they never saw me perform. And I think after they saw me perform for the first time, I think they changed their mind. Suddenly, I was accepted.
In all their life with you, they had never had occasion to actually see you as the performer that you were at one time.
No, they heard me sing around the house, and since the kind of song I'm singing is not the kind of music they like, they used to say, "Oh, Mom, please close the door." So when they first came to see me, they were a little like, "Oh, what kind of music are we going to listen?" And because the reaction was so good from the audience, they were so proud. My daughter came after the show and she was crying. She said, "I'm so proud of you."
That must have been a special moment for you.
Oh, that it was. It was. I was acceptance, and I was like, it was me again. You know, Suzanne Bernard. I was the individual, which I always had been, but I had forget to be, you know.
Tell me, were there any self-doubts or anxiousness at this time about this whole starting over?
Are you kidding? I was scared stiff. I was petrified, really petrified.
What are the kinds of things that you would have self-doubt about? You're a grown woman now. You've gone through all kinds of experiences. What would be the doubt you'd carry with you now?
Well, I think the worst, was the fact of the age. Because America is very youth-oriented. And when I look in the mirror, I say, gee, why am I trying to do this? It's a very hard business to start with. On top of that, there are almost no club anymore. There are very few clubs where the performer can
So in
perform.
your particular business, you'd say the age was, being an older woman, was one of the areas that you're concerned about, and then also that the actual business had changed in some ways.
Very much, because like I said, there's no club, and the few club there is, you have to bring your musician. In the old days, you didn't have to bring your musician.
What would you say about someone who said to you, I feel similarly, Suzanne, I'm older now, a man or a woman, I think I'm too old to do whatever it was they said. It wasn't the theater. I'm too old to become a horticulturist. I'm too old to go back to electronics. I'm too old to go back to the career in writing, or I'm too old to go back to teaching.
Well, I'll tell them to just don't be scared, because I really was scared. I'm still scared. I'm still very nervous. I'm still scared. But the satisfaction when you have accomplished something that you really like to do, that you really feel free and you feel very competent. See, I'm very sure of what I do. I might not be able to find the clubs I want, but what I do, I really feel very secure about it. There's nothing like that. There is nothing like the feeling of suddenly it's like being born again.
How did other persons, friends, family, outside of your immediate family respond?
Well, I have been very lucky. I have a husband who's been 100%. I couldn't have done it without him, matter of fact.
Stay with that for a moment, because many people are concerned about what this is going to do if a person started a career again, no longer was concentrating on being a parent,
Right.
no longer was totally focused on being a lover or a wife or a husband, a spouse, but started to spend more time, energy, concern, interest, vitality on themselves and on a career, which wouldn't just be themselves.
Well, I think when I look at what happened to me, my husband has been 100% behind me, my children too. And the thing that happened when I started to work and find myself doing something I really liked and see things develop. Because when I first started again, my voice was really, I haven't used it for 18 years. And little by little, I felt it come back. And every time I tape, a rehearsing, I could see the difference. And what happened is because the satisfaction of improving my work all the time, and I was not sitting at home anymore. Suddenly I had more energy. I was happier.
And how did that affect, say, the entire household or
Well,
acquaintances or friends?
I think that when you're happier and you're cheerful and you're more active, like there's an energy coming out of you, that I think everybody feels better. The kids started to laugh. I laugh more with them instead of being frustrated and picking on them for this or for that. Suddenly I let it pass. I was busy doing something else. I didn't have to look for the little things to get my, my anger out or whatever, my frustration.
There's an expression in French, which I'm not going to try and say in French right now, but there is an expression in French, and it goes to the effect of, in the old pot, one makes the good soup or the best soup. How do you say that in French?
Dans les vieux pots qu'on fait de la bonne soupe.
Now, for the audience out there, which I'm sure is absolutely enthralled, say it again very slowly in your best French.
C'est dans les vieux pots qu'on fait de la bonne soupe.
And that means what, in effect?
In the old, like if you cook, somebody who loves to cook will have pots that she always uses because to her, what she cooks in it is better. It's age. Like, the wok. The older you walk.
How you walk?
No, the wok. Chinese food. Wok.
Oh, the wok.
Wok is,
Right.
Where is W-O-K?
W-O-K, right.
Why so you say wok?
Well, wok. You say walk in W-O-K. You say walk if it's W-A-L-K. But we know exactly what you mean, Suzanne.
Okay.
It's a walk.
Okay.
No, say
Well,
walk.
Wok.
No.
Walk.
Look ahead. Those
sound
of you
like
in
a
our
duck
audience
right
who
now.
belong to Alliance Française of Bergen County, I don't mean to malign you nor the French language, but Suzanne obviously cannot say wok appropriately. We have the Chinese cooking utensil.
The more you use it, the better it cooks.
Okay.
Okay? And especially for soup, like
Now,
we have those old pots,
If we'll stay away from the old pots
Okay.
and talk about cooking utensils when you're speaking, say, in terms of yourself or other persons who are starting over, many people would say there must be something that you've acquired over the course of your life that would make, in effect, this, quote, old pot better to make soup in. What are the benefits of being a woman who's returned after a life of any number of experiences? The age?
Well, I think the experiences come with age anyway. I mean, you learn, like before I got married, I learned a lot. I didn't register, everything didn't register because when you're young, you just go through it. You really don't take time to look and observe. As you get older, you do. And when you're married, there's a lot of things happening in a house with the children, with the husband, with the social circle around, that if you start observing and notice everything, that experience, and that I think, like I learned how to be much more patient. God, I used to blow up like, I used to have a very bad temper. I learned how to control it. I learned to appreciate more things, much more than when I was young. When I was young, I never took the time. Like I never took the time to look at a tree. Now I love it. The country place, I can spend the whole afternoon, all day, sitting and looking at the trees, at the birds. I mean, that's little part of it. But everything you can learn all through your life.
How does the whole notion of rejection, being rejected now, rejected that would have always been there in any field, but how does that affect you now, differently or the same as it was at another time in your life?
Well, I really dislike to be rejected.
Right.
I hate it. I'm very sensitive. I get hurt very, very badly. The thing is that I don't have time to lose. I'm not getting any younger, and I don't have time to lose to wonder about it. So I get hurt at the moment, like it happened a few times. Few Asians were supposed to come, they didn't come. I got mad, but I didn't stay on it. I said, I can't. I want to do it. I got other things to do. They don't want to come. Tough luck. It's their loss.
About the time, persons would say, as you're getting on in years, not that you're that old, but as one is getting older, the whole notion of starting over, you're facing the clock. You don't have 50, 60 years to start a career, 30, 40.
Right.
Do you find that that's a pressure that you feel in the starting over, that you're racing the clock, racing the calendar? There's just a certain block of time that you better get it in or else it's all over for you?
Well, I used to. I think when I started to, even I think until few months ago, I still felt it. And then suddenly I realized that I just cannot spend time wondering about it or worrying about it. I just want to perform. I just want to go to work. And not because I want to work all the time, but it's something I really enjoy to do. And even right now, it's almost not getting paid because I have to pay the musician every place I work. So it's not even the money involved. It's the accomplishment. I'm doing something I like, and the response has been very good. Matter of fact, I'm working again in April. I just signed a contract at the Silver Lining. They wanted me again. Then I got another call yesterday to go back to the Inner Circle for another week.
I want you to know, she asked me before the show started, she said, could we please, Dr. Golden, if there was an opportunity for me to mention where it is that I'm going to be working?
Right.
And I said, absolutely. I won't forget to do it. So obviously, trust was absent at that moment, but I'm glad you mentioned it. Yes, Suzanne Bernard, for those of you at home, is going to be singing at the Silver Lining when?
26th, 27th, and 28th of April.
26th, 27th, 28th of April, and this is your second return at the Silver Lining, and is it a special act that you're doing?
Yes, I'm doing Suzanne Bernard sings Aznavour.
Aznavour is?
Charles Aznavour.
Oh, that was the Charles Aznavour song that we opened the show with?
That's it, yeah.
Look.
I do all that.
Oh, your entire act is a Charles Aznavour act?
Is all the songs of Charles Aznavour, yes.
Is
not all of it, but...
is there a particular reason you do Aznavour as opposed to a mixed bag of French songs or English songs?
Well, I guess his songs are so close to me. We must have almost have the same kind of experience, because when he writes, I really feel that I could have written the song, because whatever he writes, it happened to me. So I really feel that I really can express myself through him, to express exactly what I feel.
So he's particularly meaningful, French composer and songwriter.
And we're the same age, with the same age. We come from the same place in Paris, work at the same places.
All right, I wanted to get to something that I know if I don't get to, we're going to be in a lot of trouble with the audience out there who are saying to themselves, it's great that she's a performer, she's absolutely lovely, we're thrilled that she's starting over, we can't wait to do it ourselves, but no show with a French woman is complete without some kind of food. And Suzanne bought something for us tonight. Let me help you get it up here, and you'll explain it. This is going to be one of these galloping gourmet explanations, Suzanne, so you can just talk into your camera, and I'll wait a second.
It's a va-vite dish.
And va-vite means what?
Quick.
Quick. Well, why don't you explain what it is, get to the recipe, because we're going to be...
When you have a company and you've been cooking all day, you don't want to spend time doing a lavish dessert who's going to take half of the day. Here's one who's going to take no time whatsoever. The first thing you do is you get, like a pint, whatever the amount you want, of ice cream, vanilla ice cream.
Let me give
Put
you
it
a hand.
right here.
Okay, I'll do the mechanics, Suzanne, you just described.
Then you buy some fresh strawberries, cut them in little pieces, and mix them with the ice cream. But first, the gimmick is this, the Grand Marnier. Grand Marnier in the ice cream.
How much Grand Marnier?
Whatever, try it.
How much is like a half a quart of Grand Marnier in here, folks? An ounce or something to that effect, a couple of ounces. You mix it around.
You mix it around with the vanilla, and you can see it's almost like a heavy cream. Then you put the strawberries in it.
Strawberries in the melted ice cream, vanilla ice cream,
Grand
with the Grand Marnier. That's Grandmarnier. That's what it is, Grand Marnier.
So. And then you mix it, and you can do it like a few hours before, because then the juice...
What do you do with it now?
That's it.
Well, where do you serve it, or you put it back in the refrigerator, or what?
You put in a refrigerator until you're ready to eat them. Not in a freezer.
And the name of this dessert is what?
I don't know. Whatever you want to call it.
Well, give it a name.
Oh, strawberry à la Suzanne.
Okay, strawberry à la Suzanne. And speaking about strawberry à la Suzanne, we can't finish this night without having one more number from Suzanne. And this song is a particularly poignant number because it talks about yesterday's, today's, and particularly tomorrow. I think that the show tonight was particularly special because we had someone who didn't see yesterday's as something just in the past, and who didn't see Suzanne today as something just to be lived.
Oh, no, I'm here.
And sees tomorrow as something that's really to be grabbed
Right.
and fulfilled.
Yes.
And I can't tell you how much we enjoy you being here, Suzanne.
Thank you.
It's great. You don't mind me kissing your hand, do you?
Oh, no, please.
You don't mind me eating your hand, do you?
No,
just
you can
kissing.
eat the strawberries.
Thank you. Well, we've got a number with Suzanne coming up in 1 minute, and I keep getting a cue to stretch, which isn't typically very difficult for me, Suzanne, but
How come I make you nervous?
I'm convinced each time that we're just about up to this tape. This is once more, I take it, an Aznavour song?
Yes.
And what's the name of this song?
Well, this song is talking about...
No, what's the name of it?
It will be my way in English.
It Will Be My Way?
Right.
Okay. It will be my way or it will be my day?
It will be my way.
It'll be my way. And how would you say it in French?
C'est mon tour.
C'est mon tour. I want to thank you once again, Suzanne. And in 30 seconds, we will
You'll hear the tape.
we will have the tape. Well, what the devil am I sitting here trying to talk about? Might I
Well,
take a
let's
little
eat.
piece of this? No, let me just try it. I don't want you to dirty up yourself. I'm just going to try this, folks, to see what it actually
It's
tastes
really
like.
great because
Oh, you
nobody
can
can
smell it.
guess. Nobody can guess what it is when you have guests. And it takes, you'll see, no time. Just the time to cut the
absolutely-
strawberries.
Absolutely delicious.
And the ice cream melts by itself.
It tastes like a sauce anglaise or some kind of very rich, elegant sauce.
Yeah.
Who-
And
Well, we are right there, Suzanne.
You are?
Thanks again for being with us tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Under my makeup, my face is aging. My voice is still there, my movement precise, my talent full grown. Sometimes I feel bitter, for nothing has happened. I've struggled and strived, but never arrived. I'm still an unknown. But yet I believe that my time is coming. If giving the breaks, I've got what it takes to go all the way. And under my feet, the stage will be pulsing. Finally, I'll be there in a spotlight glare. It will be my day. Je me voyais déjà en photographie, en deux bras, l'été en hiver, le seul soleil. Je me voyais déjà racontant ma vie, l'air désabusé à des étudiants friands de conseils. J'entrais dans le moment, les soirs de première, mis le télégramme de ce vieux Paris qui nous fait si peur. Et mourant de drogue, devant ce parterre, entrer sous la scène, sous les ovations et les projecteurs. J'ai tout essayé pourtant, pour sortir de l'ombre. J'ai chanté l'amour, j'ai fait du comique et de la fantaisie. Si tout a raté pour moi, si je suis dans l'ombre, ça n'est pas de ma faute, mais c'est d'un public qui n'a rien compris. Je me voyais déjà en photographie, en or et vert, l'été en hiver, l'avais dans le vent. Je me voyais déjà en or de l'affiche, mon nom des fois plus grand.